morning, Central Texas. Welcome to KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. I'm Phyllis Jones, your host. You know, before I get to my guests, there's something that we really need to talk about. And yeah, they need to hear it too, because it's coming their direction. You know, elections are coming for our school board and our city council. But the problem is the elections is getting kind of messy. You have one candidate who's running for city council called another person who's running, school board. A lady running for school board, she called a male who's running for school board a meth head on Facebook. I don't think that was too nice. Do y'all think that was nice? No. I don't think that's nice. You know, but she did that. She went there on that one. And I think that's kind of, you know, when we have to bash somebody like that in order to win, I don't think, do you all think somebody like that would make a good school board candidate? No. Yeah, I know. So we need to quit that. And also people run... Also, those who are running for city council, we have people running, and guess what? It's messy too. We have people targeting people. They bought the ads in the newspaper to go after each other. It's getting to be a mess. And since I've been here, I have not seen it become so messy. It's almost a soap opera, which is really bad. But we have the people that are running. You need to understand that while you're running for office, you need to remember our youth, because if they see this and hear this, they will assume this is the way you're supposed to run a campaign, and campaigns aren't supposed to target people negatively. You know, now you might say there's one person who's running for city council, but he's always in a school. So I asked him, if you're running for city council, why are you always at a school? Because they're different, you know. So I asked him a question, didn't target him, I didn't beat him down. Just asked a simple question. Now, doing that to a candidate, you should ask them questions, call them up on the phone. First person you don't vote for is your best friend, because best friend might not be a good person to be on the school board or city council. They could just be a good friend. But if they're running, don't vote for them. Say, you know, that's a friend of mine, I've been knowing him for 20 years, I'm gonna vote for him. No. Make sure that person is worthy of doing their job and capable of doing their job before then. And if you don't know your candidates, look in the paper, find them, call them on the phone. Young people, the people who is running for school board, if you all want to know who they are, Mr. Woodbury can help you. Call them up on the phone. Call them and say, what are you going to do for me? I'm serious. Call them up, because you know what? We don't work for them. They work for us. And we're in control of whether they stay in office or not. So we need to start holding our candidates accountable. And we also need to realize that when their bashing starts, that might be the kind of person they are when they get to that seat. That might be who they really are. And if they are, we need to be careful. You know, so don't listen to your best friend who said, I'm voting for whoever. Don't listen to that person, because you don't know why they're voting for that person. But like I said, call the candidates on the phone, read about them on it. Go to their Facebook page, because everybody got Facebook. Go to their Facebook page. Sometimes you hear them say one thing, and you go to their Facebook page and they say something different. You go, wait a minute, you didn't say that at a meeting. You said something else. And also, you know, I went to all the candidates' forums, because I go to them because I want to know if you're going to say the same thing at each one. Well, surprisingly, there was a candidates forum this Thursday. So this one candidate, he's targeting another candidate, really just targeting. He's talking about how long he's been here, how long, whatever. But guess what? Thursday, we get to the forum, and most of the people at the forum are African American. And guess what he says? He says, out of all that, he said, my family is culturally diverse. You never said that at any other forum where there's a mixed group of people, but you get to one where basically everybody there, except for you, is African American. You suddenly throw in there, I came from a culturally diverse background. Did that impress us? No. How did it make him look? My question to him was, why did you say that at every forum? Why did you pick this one to say that and not at the other ones? Well, I wasn't supposed to catch that, but I did. So as our candidates are running, and April 24th is the start for early voting. So I hope everybody early votes, but until then, call these candidates on the phone, email them, check their Facebook, comment on them. Young people, do the same. People that's running for school board will be deciding on what you do in school every day. So, you know, you might want to get in this and say, hey, listen, what are you going to do for me? Ask them, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do as far as this? What are you going to do as far as that? Ask them. And if they can't answer you, you can't vote, but guess what? You might be able to tell your parents, you know what? I called this candidate and this is what they said. You could change that. You could change your vote by doing that. So you might not be able to vote yourself, but you can influence people by asking a candidate a question. So we need to hold them accountable because they vote on what we do. They vote on how you learn. They vote on your days. They vote on your testing. All the things you do in school, they vote on it on the school board. So you should hold them accountable for that. And, you know, also young people who are sitting here listening to me and you're going to be next talking, did you all know you can go before the school board and speak?
No.
You can. You can go before the school board and you can actually ask a question.
I actually knew that. So, yeah.
That's because he's older. He knew that. But, you know, you all can go before the school board, and I encourage you to one day do that. Get a list of something together and go before the school board and ask them why or why not, or what they think about. Do that because who are they voting on? You. When they talk about things for the school, who is it about?
It's about
you.
us.
So who should talk to them?
Me.
Right, there you go. You should do that. You're not too young to talk to them. As long as you go to school, you're not too young. Years ago, as far as the school is concerned, my daughter, when she was in school, she was in Ellison, and she was tired of being on the honor roll. And she said they needed to have something different than honor roll so she could strive for it. She wrote a letter to the school, to every school board member and to the superintendent saying that for kids on the honor roll, she wanted something more. She wanted I don't know what she wanted, but she asked for something more because she felt that's what she needed. Did she get an answer back? Yes. She did. She did, and it opened up a whole conversation. She also went to the mayor and she asked the mayor why there's nothing for kids like her. She said she went to the Boys and Girls Club and they played games. That's not her. She's the study nut. She's the one who wants to learn more about. She's now a nurse practitioner. So that's what she wanted to learn about. She wanted to be on the computer searching for information, but that's not what was at the Boys and Girls Club. So she asked him what was her incentive to go, and kids like her. And she challenged him. You know, and he had to respond to that. So I want to let you all know that even though you're the age you are, you asked the person in charge of you as far as your group is concerned, which is Mr. Woodbury, can you all write a letter to the school board and express your concerns? You should. It teaches you a lot of things because writing a letter is not easy, is it? No. You got to make sure everything is spelled right. You got to make sure the words are correct. So it's a lot of work in writing a letter. So you know what? I'm going to challenge, how many? Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to challenge all 5 of you to write a letter to the school board. Yes. Okay.
How do you give it? How are you able to give it to the school board?
You mail it to them or email them. You can email them all. They all have an email address. You can actually email them the letter. Ah, yeah. Well, that's okay. When you go to community schools, isn't there a computer there? Won't Mr. Woodbury let you use it? I don't know what that means. Okay, so we just ended that one, right? Okay, see, you need to construct a letter, ask them questions. Let them know you're concerned. Because if you don't, they don't know. They think what they're doing is right. And sometimes you might think that it isn't. So it's important to speak up now. Okay? All right, now that I got off my election soapbox, and I always have to get on that one because some of us don't vote and yet we complain. I'm going to ask you a question. Does it make sense to complain and then don't vote?
No.
No. It
Okay.
really doesn't.
But it happens, doesn't it? Because do you know in Killeen we have 50,000 registered voters, and guess what? Only 2% vote.
I think that's crazy.
It is.
What?
Yes, only 2% of 50,000 vote. You're right. So that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Nope.
Ah, so that's another problem, isn't it?
Not at all.
There you go. See, it doesn't. Okay, now I wanted to introduce my guests. They were on here last week, and they're the Young Boys of Honor. and I'll let them tell you their ages and what grades they're in. One, he's older, so he doesn't go to elementary school anymore. So I'll let him introduce himself first.
Hello, my name is Mazaria Clark. I'm 15 years old and I go to Nolan Middle School. And I'm here to talk about this topic on what we as young and older men are not doing in this community. As you see, most men we go around influencing on young men. This is why most people grow up in gangs, troubled, on the corner. And I really wanted to tackle this topic because it's dumb. We should see young men at school and doing more work, reaching out to the community more. And it's dumb. Like, we have people underage drinking, smoking, and it's just not good. And it hurts me to see that. And then I just look back in it and I'm just like, wow. Like, we have our older men influencing this on our younger men, and we really want the older men to reach out to our younger people and say this isn't cool. And, us at schools, we go around fighting and everything, gang banging and everything. It's just not good. And like, it's just and it comes much from the older men, like, because we as young people, we grow up and we watch this. It's just not cool. So we want to tackle this topic and reach out to it. Like if you see somebody out trying to be hard and all that on the streets, doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, tell them to stop, because it just ain't right. That's why most of us, we grow up minimum wage jobs and don't got no jobs on the corner, always at the drugstore buying this and that. It's just not cool. Well, most of us, we could be in college getting a good education and getting better jobs to help reach out to the community, to the younger boys. And that's basically it. I'm gonna let my brother get it.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that one, and I want you all to know he's 15 years old. So you older men, I think you got work to do. Go ahead.
Okay, getting back on topic. I thought the actual one was that how to keep our streets clean.
But remember, he missed last week because he wasn't here. Yeah.
Well, about that topic, I think we should keep our streets clean because after all the nasty stuff and garbage that we see around in our neighborhood, I think that if you see trash, I think you should pick it up instead of leaving it on the ground.
Okay.
Garbage is a bad thing for our city because it can pollute our air and a lot of animals can die by it. People like to dump oil and stuff into the ocean and it could kill our animals that live in there. So some of us eat animals from the sea. So when we want animals from the sea, we can't get them because they're all dead because the water's been polluted.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think we should keep our communities clean because little children, they could pick when they're walking with their parents and they're walking on their feet, they could pick something up and they can end up putting it in their mouth, and it might be drugs or something, and they could also choke on it. And I still watch these videos about there's this guy, he's going around and when he sees somebody littering, he yells out, he's like, ooh, they're littering, and then they'll get mad at him, but they should be getting mad at themselves for littering, and I don't think that's right.
So you think we need to do beautify your area day, something like that? Okay.
But at the same time, like he said, it could pollute our air, and sometimes people smoke inside the forest and they throw it on the floor, so they start forest fires and that pollutes our air, and and you could choke on the smoke and everything. But at the same time, when you make fire, it can make, when firefighters are going, it also kills the firefighters because sometimes the fires get out of control and some firefighters die.
So in the area you live in the area where you, let's say, come from school to home, is there a lot of trash that needs to be cleaned and picked up?
Yes.
And it's and you think the adults are not responsible enough to make sure it's clean?
Yes.
So they need to take some control in that?
Yes.
If not, what do you see?
Well, like, if you like see trash on the ground, like pick it up, and if you see a trash can, put it in the trash can. Or if like you're like one of these people that carry trash bags, and then you like one of them that's really, really clean, just like pick up trash if you see it.
Okay, so do you think that that young boys of honor could organize a day and let the community know that that's going to be Beautify Your Area Day?
Yes.
Yes.
So you think you all can organize something like that?
Yes. But
Okay.
at the same time, I want to let people know to, when they see like plastic bottles or
Right.
something on the floor, they should recycle it.
Oh, okay. Now I'm going to tell you something, and then I'm going to give you her phone number afterwards. In your area, the lady who represents your area on the city council, her name is Shirley Fleming. She's your city council person right now. So guess what? I'm going to give you her phone number. And what are you going to do?
Call her.
There you go. And you're going to talk about
How to keep our communities clean.
yes, because that's where it starts from. That's where, so I just told you her name. And it's not a secret who they are, because your politicians don't have a private life. Politicians' lives, unfortunately, are all public, so there. But I'm going to give you her phone number when we're over. And I want you all to call her and talk about it. Okay? All right.
Another thing about keeping the streets clean, if you see like bad things like bullets, drugs, or anything like that, like don't pick it up. You can go tell an adult, and they can figure out the situation to do with it instead of you picking it up. Because if you put a bullet in your hand, it can set off and shoot you in like in the arm or anywhere else.
You mean if you pick up a gun?
Yes.
Okay. Also, be careful about picking up trash, because you don't know what's on it and what the person has who threw it away. So you should wear gloves. If you're going to pick up trash, you should wear gloves.
Yeah, really wear gloves. Yeah, especially me. I'm a clean freak. I don't like touching dirty things. It's disgusting.
Okay, I want to talk to you for a few. So raise the mic up a little bit for yourself. All right. Men in the community. So you're saying the men in the, I'll say 25 and up group? Is that the group you're looking at, or older?
Any men that act irresponsible as they grow up, you know, because most men, they're not watching their kids. You know, they do drugs in front of their kids. You know, I had this one friend. He's probably the nicest person you could ever meet. His dad wasn't the best person. Always would do drugs in front of him. Always would gangbang in front of him. But he learned from more experience that, you know, this wasn't good. But, you know, as most people would do this, it would show that most people would, you know, like influence this activity and, you know, bring this on other men, and then start influencing this. And, you know, this reflects back on their children and on their kids. And, you know, this reflects how to keep our community clean stuff. Like, because then you have people, you know, they're throwing cigarette butts on the ground, you know, they're just trashing everything. And, you know, most men, they get on us, but they're doing the exact same thing, basically being hypocrites. And, you know, we see most of these men, they end up in jail and stuff. They're dead. They're not really doing anything to contribute or really help us young men in the community. And us as young men now, we can change that, because, you know, there are only so many good young people in the world Like these kids right here, the young boys of honor, I seen them do so many great things, and you know, they changed the face. They could change the face of the world right now, but by what the things they're doing. And you know, that's how you know, we reach out to our community, and that's how we help people.
So now the men out there that are doing positive things, do you think they're just doing what they do in the wrong areas and they're not doing it enough everywhere?
Could you repeat that?
Okay, there are organizations of men.
Yes.
They do good things in the community. So do you think that they don't do it in the right areas, or they need to spread out more of what they do?
I think they need to spread out, because you know, there's it's happening at so many places. I mean, every time you turn around, you see kids, you see my kids my age and younger out of school when they should be at school. You know, you see kids doing drugs and things like that, acting like they're in gangs and stuff like that. And you know, it should be spread out, because the police aren't going to be at these places 24/7. They're only going to be riding around. So you know, we want to have more men out here, more grown men out here to watch us, and you know, make sure that you know, they're keeping these young ones in check, to stop them from growing up in a life of danger and stuff like that.
Okay, all right, I like that, and that's good, and that's needs to be said, and it needs to be said more and more and more.
Right.
So my question to you is this: let's say the police officers. What do you think about the police officers not being police officers? Yes, but forming relationships with young men also. What do you think about that?
Well, a lot of times we get bad stereotypes off of what we see on TV. Correct. And what we seen back in the day.
Right.
Not all police officers are like that. Some police officers, you know, they respect their job, and you know, they don't want to lose it over that stuff. So I believe some police officers do good. And you know, a lot of young men, you know, they be going around saying F12 and all this, when you know, a lot of the police officers aren't even that bad. I know there's one police officer, he came to my school. I was about kindergarten. He's probably the nicest police officer you can ever see. We asked a lot of questions, you know. He demonstrated a lot of things, told us how the handcuffs work and everything. But you know, us as young men now, we see police as they're a threat to our race and things like that. Because I'm African American, and you know, most young people, they see the police as man, that's a white cop. They hate police. Man, they hate African Americans. Nah, it's not like that all the time. A lot of police officers, they're pretty cool. You know, not all of them is bad.
So let's suppose I could arrange for, I'll say 2 or 3 police officers, not in uniform, to come and sit down and talk with you. With not use you, but the group. What do you think about that?
That sounds good.
All right, I could do that. That I can do. I can do that, because that relationship needs to form also. Because we don't always need to see the police officers as, here they come, who are they gonna come get? We need to see them sometime as, you know, hey, how you doing? How are you? And form a relationship with them. Not to say that we have to, but like you were saying, you know, what you see on I'll say on videos and whatever else, they're the horrible people who want to just slam you to the ground and do whatever they're going to do. When in actuality, you're right. There are some good
police that do that. They really shouldn't be doing that. That's not part of their job. I mean, unless you're fighting back, which a lot of in cases that is what happening, then it's not your fault. But you know, a lot of police officers don't do that. And you know, it's wrong for most of us to, you know, accuse all police officers for what about 25% of them are doing.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll arrange that. I'll arrange that, because that needs to be done. It needs to be fixed, and you need to be able to freely, you know what I mean, ask, say, hey, listen, why is this? How do you do that? What's this scenario? What goes on here? So that they can open up a dialogue with you. There is a couple of, well, there's 3 that I know of that do hang out in the neighborhoods and do hang out in areas. And some of you might have seen him and just didn't know he was a police officer because he's always everywhere. And he does a lot of things in the community. I'll say, in fact, you've got some kids that go to a shoemaker, and if he catches them on the street, he puts them in the back of his car and takes them to school. As the police officer, you might say, I don't want to see him, but he's the one that you need because he's taking you to school and telling you, you better stay in there because I don't want to see you on the outside. So that I will make sure that we get some officers together and we all sit down and have a little talk, okay? All right, let's go to the neighborhood. We're back to the neighborhood?
Yep, back to the neighborhood. Back to the neighborhood. That was a long talk.
Okay.
Okay. Well, back to the neighborhood. Since there's like trash bags, so I think sometimes you should like carry gloves around you. So like if you see trash, you can pick it up and find a dumpster and put it in instead of like leaving it on the ground. So, cause if you make our city better, it'll be better. Cause in most states or cities, they don't got that much trash, or they keep the streets clean.
Also recycle.
Okay, so you all are coming on next Saturday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I put you to a challenge?
Yes.
Ooh, I can?
Yes,
Really?
ma'am.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born ready.
Oh, woo, I heard that. Okay, next Saturday when you come on, have a day for trash pickup in your area. Have a date and time for it. Okay, y'all, you're gonna have that. The date and time for the community, for your area's trash pickup. Who's gonna do the flyer?
I am.
Ooh, okay. So y'all can get the word out. So next Saturday when you come on, you're gonna have a date, time, place to start, ready. Okay. Because we can't say something if we're not going to. Come on. We can't say any. We can't talk about.
We can't say anything.
Okay. Well, somebody said they can make flyers.
I can.
Okay. Well, okay. So we got everything we need, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So next week next Saturday we're gonna have date, time, and place. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Mr. Woodbury, you heard that, right? Okay. He heard y'all. So you know, and you want to meet before next Saturday, right?
Yes, we meet on Friday.
Ooh, okay, but you all can, but you can meet any day, correct? To get this together. What I'm saying is, you all can sit between each other. Y'all don't see each other through the week.
Actually, all 3 of us, but
Okay.
we're gonna have to yeah, because he's in 4th grade and he's like all the way down the hallway. So
So you all can't ask Mr. Woodbury, can y'all meet up one day through the week?
I mean, we can. I mean, like,
Is it impossible?
nothing's impossible if you put
Okay.
your mind to it.
All right, so we got this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're gonna do soccer? Well, that's okay because you got the men thing going. Remember, you've got that. So we're working on 2 things. You're gonna meet with the police officers and
ma'am.
ask questions, and you are gonna form a relationship to go forward, so that you won't be so that you, when someone says something negative, you can say, no, listen, hold on. I met 3 police officers, and you know, this is what we talked about. And you might have an idea of something community-wise for them to do, because we do have community policing, but you might want to know what it is, what is it about, and how does it affect. So you're not, even though you're playing soccer, you're still gonna have a part. So don't think that, oh, okay, I'm out of it. Nope, you're not. You're still, because you brought up something that was very good. Okay, so we're gonna have a place,
A time,
and a date. Then we're gonna do.
and then we gotta do flyers.
I already know what the day is gonna be.
Oh, well, wait. You all have to agree on it and vote. Remember, since you're a group, when you know what, when you're a group, you have to and bring up something. You all need to agree and vote on it, because if you don't, that ends up being a nightmare. So we're gonna agree and we're gonna vote on it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then,
Yes, ma'am.
and then next Saturday we're gonna have it. Well, next week we're gonna have it all ready and ready to go. And we're gonna let everybody know, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good. Because we need to do that. So we're gonna take a break and come right back.